Hello, grandson. This is your grandfather, and I'm going to tell you another story about your family. I'm sitting here in front of our favorite tree in my neighborhood. You know, this old tree has been here since 1548. And the story that I'm about to tell you is almost as old as this tree. Not quite, but almost. In 1597, one of your ancestors, your great whatever grandfather, John Maynard, was born in England. Now, at the time, England, which is a fine country, back then, those many years ago, did not have freedom of religion. And John Maynard grew up and became, with his family, a Puritan. And other people didn't like Puritans. And they decided to persecute the Puritans. And persecuting means that other people are mean to you. They bully you, and sometimes they do terrible things to you. So John Maynard's family decided that they were going to settle in Massachusetts, in America, where there would be freedom of religion. And so in 1600s, they settled in Massachusetts, and John Maynard became a farmer, and he grew grain that was used to make beer, and he made houses, and made pretty good houses, made his own house and made other people's houses. And in fact, the town, as it grew up, it got to the point where they needed a jail, and they decided that they were going to ask John Maynard to build this jailhouse. And it was a brand new jail, and it was a fine jailhouse. And the day came when they needed to throw a prisoner into their brand new jail. And guess who the prisoner was? It was John Maynard's wife, Mary. Yes, she was arrested, and they threw her into the very jail that her husband had just built. Now, this is the thing about it. She was arrested because she went to church on a Sunday, and she didn't like what the preacher was saying. And she didn't think the preacher knew what he was talking about. So she stood up right in the middle of the worship service. Now, Ryan, you know, your grandfather, I'm a retired preacher. And I don't know that I've ever had anybody interrupt the worship service to tell people that I didn't know what I was talking about. I think they told people behind my back, but they didn't stand up and interrupt the worship service. But Mary, your great whatever grandmother, she did. And they threw her into jail. And fortunately, Mary's father was a lawyer, and he showed up at the courthouse and explained to the judge. Now, he could have explained to the judge, "Oh, Your Honor, take pity on my daughter. She's just a woman. She didn't know what she was talking about. She's a little crazy. We've always had problems with her." But no, what he did was to say, "Your Honor, my daughter knew exactly what she was talking about. The minister was preaching about something, and he was wrong. He was incorrect. And my daughter was right to have the freedom of speech as well as the freedom of religion to stand up against the minister." And so the judge let her go free. I don't know how many days she spent in that jail, but I would hope that her husband had built a fine and comfortable jail to house all prisoners.